take a look at Facebook and share it. Yeah. It shows up. All right.
And that case number is 222-332.
All right. Well, hopefully we're back with you. Trying to make sure. I think we're good now. I don't know, Pat, if you can check the YouTube.
Yep, about to do that.
So we are westbound on Jenks and Forest. Let us know how check out the YouTube channel as well, just to let us know how the video looks for you.
Looks like we're good.
We got another pending call here we're going to run up to it on Clarence.
It's at 1286.
Yeah. But most importantly, right now, we just want to make sure all the technology is working properly.
I had to laugh. A very kind Facebook friend commented when we were talking about this coming up that Bob and I were getting so tech savvy. And that was a very kind comment. Because
well, we've come a long way. When you think about this, when we first started, of course, there were no, it was late 70s. There were no computers in the car. There were, for the most part, there were no personal computers.
Right.
The only computer we had was in the office. There was a giant computer that you program cards. Remember that? They put them in. And Hamlin University had a computer, but took up an entire room. Could calculate. Now you have little calculators. Kids don't appreciate the calculators can do more math than the entire room could do in the 70s. But before we came on, I think we mentioned it, guys, they didn't have portable radios even.
Right.
So they would use AM radios with a little attachment on it, a little called a Tiger radio, they could monitor the calls through it. Just, I think it distorted the VHF frequency or changed it.
So they could be on a lunch break or coffee break and still listen to calls.
Yeah.
Who is demanding footage and is arguing with the owner. Is there a response back?
346, all advised.
You know, I've heard it said that these smartphones we have today have more power than the computer that was on the first spaceship to the moon, first moon trip.
Yeah, they do a lot of their own calculations, which is why math and calculus and trigonometry were all important back then. Now you just plug them in, sine, cosine, tangent. I sound like I know what I'm talking about.
You lost me at cosine and tangent.
No, I did. I went to Hamlin. You know, people don't know this. I went to Hamlin planning to be going into pre-med and studying sciences and math. And after 2 years of mixing chemicals in analytical and organic chem lab, I just decided I needed to change my major to something I could work with people. So I went and talked to my advisor, Dr. John Harrigan at Hamlin. He said, well, maybe you should be a lawyer. So
Well, we're all glad you became
I didn't
a
make
cop.
that either.
We prefer you as a
Truth
cop.
of the matter is, I was planning to go to law school, but I took this job thinking I would go part-time to Willie Mitchell, and I fell in love with it because it's such a great opportunity to help people, you know,
Right.
and still stimulating and interesting at the same time. Somebody says it's not on YouTube. I don't know if that's true or not.
Well, I just, for those watching, I just went to the YouTube channel, Live on Patrol, and I can see it. So make sure that in the link that was talking about us doing this today, that you go to the link for YouTube and subscribe to the Live on Patrol channel.
Oh, you got to subscribe.
I think you have to subscribe, so make sure you subscribe. And there are,
And
by the way, there's already 213 subscribers.
And the other thing on there is, I think there's two things. There's videos and there's live videos. I think you got to click on the live one, on the menu at the top. At least for me, the live menus were kept in a different spot. So Pat's looking at it on his own page, but the key is you got to subscribe. So on that venue, anybody who's, you know, hasn't, if you can even just go jump over there and subscribe to that channel, that'd be a big help. I don't know what the benefits are of more subscribers, but I've been told that you get more additional tools on your YouTube page if you have subscribers. So we're headed to 1286. I can't even believe this call would still be active. 1286 Clarence, a male standing in the driveway for 30 minutes. Now, callers told him to leave. So we're gonna skip his description. We have it here, but
60. A couple more doors.
Is there an east boat that can break and start for an in-progress alarm, residential 959 Hudson Road? It's a panic alarm covering the T-band.
I'll knock and see if they left.
somebody's yelling to us. But
339 is there a spot to back?
somebody's throwing styrofoam at us.
It sure looks like it.
Who's yelling, Pat?
I can't tell where that's coming from. I don't think this has an alley, does it?
Nope. Well, somebody's yelling something, but it doesn't sound like they're in trouble. But they could be trying to get our attention and not want to come out in the snow. We just want to find out in case they're telling us where this gentleman went to. Anybody yelling out that window at all?
Not that I can see. Turn the lights on, would you?
Yeah.
I'll get it coming.
Did I mention winter's coming?
Let's pull up in there and I'll
Yeah.
go ask her.
All right, that'd be great. You get to see Pat in action. And the suspicious party standing in the driveway that they asked to leave. It looks like it might be a duplex. That's the only complicated factor. I'm gonna let you do the talking with her. Maybe they'll roll the window down. So yeah, we're at 1286 Clarence. There was a call here a half hour ago for a man standing in their driveway for a long, long time. But he's obviously gone. I just want to check to see if there was anything unusual about his activities or behavior. And we'll leave here in a few minutes and pick up another pending call. Do me a favor when he gets back in the car. Why don't you I think he'll look at some of the comments. It's pretty tough, but might have time to look at a few. So just tell him how good he looks in his mask, or give him some type of compliment. He won't know that I encourage you to do that. Excuse me, man, I got to take this incoming call. Yes, sir. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. All right, thanks for the info. Thank you. So, the other thing, later on tonight, we might play a little clip of the Clouds song, and brings some sadness to my heart even to think about it, but we're going to talk a little bit about what an inspiration that young man was, and the new movie that's come out on Disney Plus to commemorate his life. I'm not going to get much detail right now, but we will talk about that more tonight, and maybe use a short clip of his song. It's stuck in your head, still stuck in my head from when we went to the Mall of America to be part of the Clouds Choir. Alright, looks like Pat's got it resolved. I don't want to spend too much time in proximity. Tell him how handsome he is, those of you that know him. All right, what do we find out there, partner?
All right, well, he was last seen 10 minutes ago walking southbound with 2 bags.
What was he doing here?
He, very unusual, he came here asking for her husband, but not by name, just referring to him as uncle.
Okay.
And she told him he wasn't here, and he tried to talk his way into the house to wait for uncle.
Oh.
And she wouldn't let him in. He didn't get aggressive towards her.
Smart.
But just very unusual.
He had 2 bags with him, though.
He had 2 bags with him.
Can I get 305
Did it look like he could be homeless at all?
She thought he might be homeless. She thought he might be from the homeless camp over by the lake.
There, yeah. Well,
305 to 40.
got your phone handy?
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna run by the homeless camp. If he walked over there, he might have gone there. Just
That could be.
check out your Facebook page here. Comments on
I forgot to share it to my own page.
that? Oh.
I shared it everywhere else.
Well, you just, you just take a look. I think somebody texted me, said you got a comment or two. Go on.
For some reason, I'm not.
Guys, it's not great connectivity here tonight, no. Oh, here's the Hmong homeless camp. They got a nice fire going. I'll tell you what, it's going to get cold fast. This is going to be a miserable experience.
I think so too. Yep, I'm definitely. Oh, okay, there we go. Now I'm connected.
A little bad connection here, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So we're in the trail, the old railroad track, Bruce Vento Trail here on the east side of Lake Phelan. We're going north this time. Normally we come in from the other end and go south, but since it runs right off of Maryland, we just popped in.
I'm going to be quiet here for a minute while I'm trying to figure out some technological stuff.
So we're going to look at some more pendings here. See what we can run into. So we don't have any reason to believe there was any crime that occurred, so we're probably okay.
Comprehensive disorderly conduct, called 83rd Street for a male refusing to leave Tom's driveway. Is there a contact?
56 solid line from Mills Park.
Ready? Yeah. 2400, we just talked to the complainant there, and he's been GOA for about 10 minutes, went southbound.
600, copy 36. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, let's take your DPD there.
What do you
You
say?
can divert actually to an in-progress domestic, 8x4 Euclid Street. Mom's daughter and boyfriend are physically fighting. Is there a contact?
357 versus 12.
So back here at the Joe Bergeron Memorial, Arlington and English, and we're gonna head south on East Shore Drive and back toward some of the calls that are impending.
I sure am glad I brought my warmer jacket today.
336, it sounds like the male half is leaving. Per policy, it was originally coded as domestic. We're not able to cancel.
So you said you really like to sleep when the air is cold, right?
I like to sleep when the air is cold. Yep.
My wife is the same exact way.
And I have to find one of those.
Yeah. See, I'm telling the other day
Airflow
we weren't on Facebook, but Pat said we were talking about the temperature in the car, and he said, "Hey, I really like to have cold air. I put blankets on." I said, "Well, my wife's the same way." And I said she bought one of these things that's like this. It blows cold air in your face while we're sleeping. Of course, I can't be on that side of the bed. It's freezing. But so, and Pat said, "Well, is it a Dyson?" I went and asked her. She said, "Yes, it is a Dyson."
Okay.
So there's a Dyson air cooler. So, when's your birthday? Did I just missed it, right?
It's in April.
April. Well, we gotta get you one of those Dyson air. I don't even know how it does it. But it's pretty amazing how it creates cold air, fresh cold air.
Yeah, I look at it and I can't figure out how in the world it does it, but I have been told it works well.
Yeah.
Somebody just said weighted blankets. Weighted blankets would drive me nuts.
Yeah.
I like a nice, light but warm comforter over top of me.
Yeah. And I think I mentioned to you, I don't know if online, I can sleep anywhere at any time with anything. That's from years of working too many midnights.
Indeed.
I don't sleep that long, but fast. All right, we're westbound on Maryland. For most of you got an invite. If you didn't get an invite, I apologize, but
doors ajar here.
we have a new page called Live on Patrol,
There's gotta be somewhere else.
and the Live on Patrol page you can find just, I suppose, by searching Live on Patrol, but eventually we'll probably have to move all these live videos.
Advised. It sounds like caller has a restraining order that's not been served, and he is leaving on a bicycle. White male. Unknown shirt and jeans, unknown direction of travel.
That's the Euclid case. We're going to head over. There's another pending on Arcade that we're going to. But anyhow, if you can, I don't know how it works. Like or follow, then you'll get notifications when we do move. When we do move the videos to that page. It'll be a while till we do that, till everybody gets a chance to migrate over to that page.
Well, actually, when you posted late last night, early this morning about this happening today at noon, you did put the link in there for that Facebook page, and I was able to hit that link, go to that page, and both like it and follow it.
Okay.
So you can do that for both the YouTube and for the organizational Facebook page. It's called what? Live on Patrol?
Yep, Live on, but we just kept it simple. Live on Patrol. And there won't be a lot of other stuff showing up on that page besides the videos. We did torture you with the pictures of Pat and I. But like on our personal pages, there's other things that'll be posted, and so we don't want you to have to get notices of everything. So eventually, that's probably the best way to go. But a lot of people say they prefer YouTube.
There's a subject breaking at the 3rd and Forest for an accident with injuries. Sounds like one party is holding their chest, and one party has a bump on the head. That's all.
So we're southbound on Arcade.
There's one that's on the 3rd and Forest for an accident property damage.
I was thinking something we didn't talk about is how officers get their information. We used to have roll calls where everyone was in the same room.
Right.
Now with COVID, they don't do that. But at the beginning of every shift, all the officers would be in the same room. A little bit like TV, the sergeant would, go over all the information. In the old days, it was maybe at a podium. Still is in some places. Sometimes just sitting at the table. And they would go over everything on a clipboard and talk about, new information. People would have their notebook or their own clipboard and write it down. A lot of this is turned into electronics now.
It has.
And I don't know that it's all good, but in Minneapolis, for instance, every day they have called a DIB, Daily Intelligence Bulletin, that they get. And
pretty comprehensive, but
sometimes you don't want too much information, right?
You can overload.
You really want to know the wanted serious violent felons and any cars that are floating around out there. So that clipboard would sometimes have the letters BOLO, called the BOLO board, and the BOLO stands for be on the la's not in there. Lookout. Be on the lookout.
Correct.
And so if it's on the BOLO board, it's be on the lookout.
And you'll sometimes still hear over the air the dispatcher put out a BOLO.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout. Or it'll be referred to as a COPS alert, which is a statewide alert system.
And that is all electronic and comes directly to the CAD now. So in the old days, they calling on cars, be on the lookout. And that would come across the radio system and you'd write it down. And nowadays it comes in an electronic message in the computer-aided dispatch. But back when we first got our first computers, they were actually called mobile data terminals, and they were very simplistic, right? You want to mention we could do some stolens, but there wasn't a COPS alert concept there.
Right. That's an interesting. Somebody was just asking about a woman who robbed some drugstores on Grand Avenue. That was actually yesterday, not this morning. And a woman had gone in with a metal baton, like a police baton, and was threatening the staff in, I believe, the Walgreens and the CVS to rob them, and was unsuccessful in getting anything. I believe she did a third one in Highland Park and ended up being caught on foot on the Marshall Lake Street Bridge towards the Minneapolis side. And they had a little bit of a struggle with her, but she claimed she had swallowed some heroin and was taken to the hospital instead of being booked at that time. But they did catch the woman doing that. And then there was also a robbery at a drugstore in Highland Park where a man threatened the staff, forced open the cash register, took money, and escaped. And he is still at large, the last I heard.
Yep. There's been cases popping up down that way.
Yeah.
I appreciate you mentioning that. Did get a text on that from a Highland Park resident yesterday about the robberies, or I guess you could call them attempted robberies.
Right.
I also gotta mention, it is Halloween, and of course the sheriff's fright farm is not going to be occurring this year, partly because of COVID and partly because the building itself has some security issues for the future. But we are going to do on Halloween, we're going to do a drive-through Halloween in front of the sheriff's office downtown on 425 Grove. We'll post more information on that. But what made me think of it is, Anoka is really the Halloween capital of the world. They have the best Halloween celebration. They have a Halloween parade.
Oh, yeah, they have an amazing...
This year, they're not going to have the parade, apparently. They're doing something downsized. But a guy from Anoka took his pumpkin to California, and in the pumpkin contest, and he won the largest pumpkin contest. It's a $16,000 prize. He won like $7 per pound
Can you both head tonight?
for
76 RTA apartment number 3 for a domestic.
and
Like caller went over to intervene in a domestic.
so anyhow, Travis, congratulations for the largest pumpkin.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Travis Ganger.
That's I don't know. That's a big old. I saw it on television.
Oh, it's monstrous.
Just wonder how they can make sure that you haven't got a fine little needle and pumped water into your pumpkin. It must be examine the interior for the consistency and DNA test on the interior of the pumpkin nowadays, right?
Yeah, really.
Either that or they got to measure their circumference. Of course, did you know that the circumference divided by the radius is the number pi, right?
Kinda. Don't go throwing math at me here.
All right, we're down on Forest to Minnehaha. Don't have a lot of calls, but the beauty of this drive right here is how beautiful the street is right now.
Yeah, it is.
Sun behind us, eastbound of Minnehaha. Anyhow, if you haven't liked or followed the Live on Patrol, just to make sure you get those notifications, and if you wouldn't mind clicking on the subscribe button on YouTube. People have told us one of the downsides of YouTube, people don't have to have much of a identity on there. And so sometimes the comments turn ugly on YouTube.
Right. They do.
I've
seen that happen.
We may have to, if it gets that way, we have the ability to shut the comments off. We're not going to start that way, But if they start insulting my partner, that's a different thing.
Well, like you say, always assume good intentions.
Good intent. Love the police.
LTP.
LTP.
Love the police.
So it was payday today, right?
Yes, it was.
Payday today. So tonight we got a little extra money, so we can buy a couple pizzas when we're out there.
There you go.
Payday Friday. We used to have parties in our office at the sheriff's office every payday Friday. With one administrator would buy something different for the Fridays, and the first one was I had to do the first. I didn't have to. I wanted to do the first one. And of course, we had a smorgasbord of Candyland.
Oh, I'll bet.
Yeah, that was quite the layout from Candyland.
That'd be a hit.
But there's been a wide variety. Chief Finney, Bill Finney, who was an undersheriff at the sheriff's office, he brought in a couple hundred White Castles full of cheeseburgers, one of his favorite places. And we've had a wide variety of different connoisseurs bringing stuff in. Tacos, brought some tacos. So, but we had to curtail that activity on payday because of COVID. And of course, COVID now is making a comeback. So
That has changed so much of daily life.
yeah.
It really has. Yeah, I don't go to White Castle often, but I've got to confess a bit of a weakness for the jalapeno cheeseburger. That's pretty good.
I only go to White Castle. I mean, I love the taste of White Castle. Let me just say that. Not as good as a ham and cheese, but I love the taste of White Castle. But I only can go there when I'm going to be home in the next hour and a half.
Someone mentioned chuck wagon sandwiches, and that's funny because I always brag about I do a homemade chuck wagon sandwich with about twice the meat and twice the cheese. That when I get energized, I'll make a batch of them up for my friends. And a chuck wagon sandwich is definitely a weakness of mine.
I threw this one on 2 if you want to throw yours on 1.
I think I already am.
Oh, yeah? I'm
We're
saying
in-
that because it's very quiet out here, isn't it?
We're in sync.
Gonna slide down here. We're just going by the St. Paul Saloon. We're gonna slide downtown. Go through downtown at lunchtime. Probably, for those of you that haven't been back to St. Paul, we should probably get up on Summit Avenue and see some of the scenery there, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Some of the scenery up on Summit.
The trees in that area seem to have fared better
Look
than...
at that one there. That was gorgeous.
Yeah.
I posted that post of those young kids that made those bags up, the ones You Matter to Me bags. And I mentioned that it wasn't on live, but Pat and I delivered those bags last Friday to the group there.
Yes.
And, the people were very, very appreciative. When we were there, they asked us to get some water too, so we went over and grabbed some water. Oh, there was water in each of the bags, but they wanted to give a little bit of ice, so we grabbed them some ice too. But somebody sent a text in. We do try to look at those texts, and it says the Mr. Rogers quote about "look for the helpers," And I tell you what, that's so true in life. Look for the helpers. When I interview people for jobs at the sheriff's office, one of the most important questions is, tell me about any volunteer work that you've done.
Right.
And then secondly, tell me about any work you've done to help those that are less fortunate. Because we're looking for people that are willing to help others. We can always find people that are willing to arrest others. We need to make sure we're finding people that are willing to help others. So thank you for sending that quote in, reminding me. I did enjoy Mr. Rogers both as a child and as an adult. Look for the helpers.
That help ethic says a lot about a person's character.
Yeah. And is there a more talented actor than that Tom Hanks? I mean,
oh my God!
I mean, how many different roles? The captain on the pirate, on the you know, the pirate in Somalia, they're playing that role, and then he's got a couple other movies that are out as well. I mean, I just, there's not a more talented actor in terms of a guy that can play different roles and not be typecast, right?
That was the word I was looking for right there. He has never been typecast. And you would have thought that TV series, what was the name of it he was in, where he had the roommate, where he first got his start.
Well, I might not even watched it back then.
But you would have thought that would have typecast him, but he broke that mold. He can play anything. He can play anybody.
And in a way, that's the kind of police officers we're looking for. We don't want people to be one-dimensional.
Right.
We're looking for people that have good people skills but can still activate their other skills, and that's our goal. We're looking for people that can be helpers but also can... and by the way, my wife ran into one. We have a deputy that works for us named Mike Brock that works in our parks. And Mike, you probably don't know this, but my wife said you were one of the friendliest, kindest deputies that she's run across, and she really appreciates how you treated her when you ran into her in the park. You didn't even know it was her. But thank you very much for your kindness. And you're doing a wonderful job for us. And your boss, Eric Brott, another man, does a great job as well. So thank you for being one of the helpers.
Yeah, we're about to turn north on Broadway from Kellogg. Kellogg being an extension of 3rd Street, or vice versa, 3rd Street being an extension of Kellogg.
Farmers market here. I mean, the market's not open, but this is where the location.
My favorite farmers market I've ever been to.
CHS Stadium.
Home of the Saints.
Saints. Fireworks here this last year. That was fun. Socially distanced fireworks.
There's a call at Laurel and WTS if you could send it to me.
So I'm going to switch this one to 2. You're on 1. I'll switch this one to 3.
Okay.
So we are covered. Thanks for joining us. If your boss just let you out now to go have lunch for your 1 o'clock lunch hour, for those of you that start a little late, we are testing out this dual stream today, making sure that we're able to dual stream to Facebook and YouTube. We'll still have to, we're not going to be on the air for 4 hours today, but tonight still have to just reset it for 4 hours for the Facebook. So the Bulldog restaurant there on our right, we're westbound 6th at Wakuta. And of course, Mears Park there on the left.
I got to give a shout out to Barrio. I love Barrio.
You are a restaurant connoisseur. There's no doubt about it.
I love going to bar, restaurant, happy hours, and eating every type of food you can imagine. The only thing I've come up with I don't like is lima beans. I do not like lima beans.
How about liver?
I don't like beef liver, but I love chicken livers.
Brussels sprouts.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Cook them up nice and crispy with a little bit of balsamic vinegar and some sriracha hot sauce. My chef friend Jen's little trick she shared with me.
Well, I eat mostly anything nowadays, but that lady's going down the wrong way on a one-way. I suppose we should maybe help her out, huh?
Yeah.
We should probably alert her before she runs into somebody else. She'll probably take a right. Oh, there she goes. Good. All right. She's to a safe zone. Maybe.
Okay.
Everybody makes that mistake once in a while. Just wanted to make sure she didn't get hit. Alert the other drivers around. Securing Financial, great corporation. Home of our friend Bob Fox. Probably be working there later tonight. Pretty quiet. This is why we don't do too many afternoon, daytime activities, but we are going to get a chance to take a look at the city. Go back up on the hill, take a look at our beautiful St. Paul Cathedral.
It's nice to have the air so clean and crisp.
The old Dayton's building on our right, which is morphed into Macy's and now morphed into Tria Park. There's the Landmark Center up ahead there at the end of 6th Street.
Beautiful building.
You know, the city looks pretty good. I got cleaners over there. The Downtown Alliance is cleaning the street, and there's not a lot of garbage down here. You got to give them credit for the streets clean.
Yeah, St. Paul's a pretty clean city.
There's the Landmark, and of course, St. Peter Street here was used in the movie, Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. What the heck? I watched it all the time. Now I forgot the name. Where that little, he was trying to get the doll for his kid.
I can't remember.
Someone's
the name
going to
of
help
that.
us out
Yeah.
here.
Someone knows the name of that.
That's it was a superhero name. No, Jingle All the Way. Right?
There you go.
Jingle All the Way. And some of our friends were actually the police officers were in the movie. Greg Majors was in there, a couple others, because they used extra law enforcement officers. Jingle All the Way. Right. And I mean, obviously St. Paul, the metro area has been home to some other movies, but that's probably one of the few that was actually downtown here.
Right.
Filming. So when you ever watch that movie Jingle All the Way and try to pick out some scenes that you can remember. The Ordway Theater here, of course. Herbie Brooks statue. For those of you that
Miracle on Ice.
haven't been there, I'm going to just pull up there to give you a little shot of Herbie Brooks in front of the entrance. Of course, we had the 40th anniversary celebration here this last year, just before COVID broke out. St. Paul Library.
Oh, he might come our way. We've got a theft that just happened at the Holiday gas station. Minnesota plate Bravo Kilo Tango 628 silver four door.
Okay.
Maybe he'll come down 7th Street.
What kind of car is it? Silver.
Silver four-door sedan so far is all we got.
We'll go over there and slide over and look. There's the Landmark again, huh? What a great picture that is.
30 left.
The screen there, just
Beautiful.
beautiful spot. Bravo Kilo Tango 628. Do we know what he stole yet, you think, or not yet?
Don't know yet. Kia Optima, gray in color.
I have no idea what an Optima looks
That
like.
silver car up there on the right,
Yep.
that's a Kia Optima.
All right.
Oh, no, it's not. That's a Chevy Malibu. But it looks a lot like that.
Up to 7th Street here, huh? Well, we've got Christmas tree
Oh,
lights.
says the vehicle is still there, actually.
Oh.
Hold on. You're clear.
hasn't been dispatched yet, right?
529.
No.
529.
Apparently stole some food.
I'll be responding to a voice page to 235 East 6th on some folks sleeping in the Skyway.
So, remember we talked about communications and
Copy, there's squad to assist.
I think Bob Fox down at Security
Back to
mentioned
Glen
that
Road.
they help
Copy, 1313.
our Skyway patrol, our downtown beat patrol, and that call that just came out
520 takes 9th and Dorothy Day Place.
was one of our beat officers
521
saying,
copy, male in the
saying you got
construction
a
area,
page.
chasing after vehicles, black male, 40s, wearing a hoodie at 1314.
Got a page, so the businesses will actually page them directly, a voice page, and then tell them what they have. So in that case, they get the information right away. Sometimes that's even it's a better way to proceed than a two-tiered system, but it all depends on the volume of the calls.
I'll be clearly tagging and show me at 875 Atlantic on parking.
Some of these channels must be merged, huh?
875 Atlantic, 1314.
So I got the plate there, Patrick. We'll just slide.
Bravo Kilo Tango 628.
Been a lot of thefts from Walgreens, CVS, Holiday, Super America. Part of it's desperation, but part of it is just the word is out that there's little enforcement. Obviously, I don't think it's even been dispatched on our end.
At the Holiday Station.
This before myself and 248 also, I see.
Copy, 1316.
All right, well, Mr. Car Expert, you help me pick it out there. I'll curb it. If it's still here.
Looks like it's gone. I could talk to them real quick and get us a Mountain Dew.
351.
I can take a Mountain Dew if you don't mind.
Not at all. You want a fountain one?
It out now to 301 way out now.
Yeah.
301 point, 1317.
I don't mind, but I think I could also use just the two Twinkies.
Two Twinkies?
Two
Got it.
Twinkies today. I think that's.
Well, I was going to surprise you with the Twinkies.
Okay. Well, thank you. Make sure I get a little angle for our viewers.
How about if they've got cheese dogs?
I'm ready for lunch. We haven't had lunch yet.
All right.
Cheese dog and a Twinkie.
I'll be right back.
I'm going to sit here.
Bravo 351, EOTs.
Copy, have a good night, 1317.
You're the best. They're probably going to talk about you while you're gone again. Oh, there it is. We got. Oh my goodness. Thank you. We were just saying. Well, thank you.
My gosh.
Thank you so much.
You can have some, and then the rest are for friends that
Throw
you
those
are
in the back
ready to.
window there. If you don't mind, we'll use that.
We got cupcakes, ding dongs, a whole.
That is
bunch of them.
amazing.
And we got 2 dues for you.
You do already?
Yeah.
Hey Pat, we got 2 months.
You guys are awesome. Now, does your son play for Mountain View football?
I went to Mounds View.
Oh, you got the shirt on there. I see that.
I know. I went together. I know where I rejected now.
Well, thank you.
Pretty soon I'm going to be on there.
Yeah, you are. You probably already are. It's only a 15-second delay. Well, this is perfect because I just sat on there. You might have heard me. I needed that.
Yeah, we did.
What's
I said, go, stop. He's stopping now.
What's your first name?
Mary.
Mary. Thank you. Thank you very much.
you go.
What's your first name?
And I'm Tim.
Tim. Nice to meet you.
Nice to
What's
meet
your last
you,
name?
too. O'Keefe.
O'Keefe. Very nice.
Good Irish.
Yeah, good Irish. It's the
Now,
same.
the other dude is in here.
Oh, it is already. All right.
Yeah,
I went to
who's the other
William
dude
Mitchell. I
before?
heard that you were thinking about it.
Yeah, that was my plan, and then I fell in love with this job. You know, I never. You know, I promised my mother I'd go back to law school. Instead, I fell in love with this. So.
Wonderful. Well, we have a great time.
What
Everybody's enjoying it out
What
here.
cities do you do up north what other cities do you look at?
Well, we go everywhere, but
Brighton?
we're directly
North Oaks?
we're directly responsible for 7 cities up there. You know,
Okay.
the sheriff patrols. New Brighton has their own police department,
Oh,
but
you're busy.
she's got room. She's got room to get through.
She's trying to get the earphones.
Oh, okay, got it. I'm just gonna stay here. I'm just gonna pull over a little bit to get out of the way a little bit. But we try to go wherever there's some activity, just to, because people get bored listening to us. You know.
It's awful. I don't sleep at night when you're on.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate the compliment. What do you like the best about it?
First of all, I like it during the day because I get a good tour of the city.
Yeah.
It's so pretty, and I love your commentary. I love that you know the history, like even West Publishing, because I work there. So I just love that you can see you say everything, and your history. And the thing I love best is the heart that you are bringing to people. And it's this is just so gentle and wonderful. And you obviously love the community and the people you're talking to. That really comes.
You're
through.
way too kind,
Yeah.
but thank you.
And
Thank you.
appreciate what you're trying that you're showing everybody what you know.
Sorry
what you're all
about that, ma'am. Oh, maybe that wasn't her. There's her up there. I was apologizing for being in the way. Oh, thank you very much. That's was really kind of you.
Okay, well, have a good day. We'll be watching.
Thanks
you.
a lot.
Bye-bye.
Thanks to you tonight too.
Bye.
Thank you. Well, that was very kind of them. Good timing too. Since we were in a Twinkie and Mountain Dew mood, they were ahead of us. Thank you very much, you folks. Thanks again. It's probably fitting that I ate the Twinkie before the cheese dog. Some people think of a Twinkie as dessert, but truth is, it's more qualifies as an appetizer. Now we got some extra Twinkies in case we have to put a fight out. Instead of using water on a fire, we just use Twinkies for people we run across tonight. You know, we greatly appreciate people that are watching and take time to do this. And it's fun for us to run into people. Well, that was kind of a surprise, huh?
Yeah, very nice surprise.
Yeah.
How come they only have cheese dogs when you're the guy who goes in?
What's this I'm looking at?
This is just a regular hot dog.
Bravo 480 DOT.
You didn't have to tell me that. I wouldn't know until I bit into it.
682.
That was so kind of them.
That was very, very kind.
Show me en route to 257 Sydney.
Well, all they could say for sure that the guy took was a Red Bull.
Oh, did you get a there's a Mountain Dew in that pack.
I got one right next
Oh,
to
you
you.
do? Okay.
And he left about 5 minutes before we got there.
They want to report me or not?
No, they didn't.
Bravo 216.
EOT.
Copy, have a good night, 1323.
I'm going to let the squad handle that one in case the car has some significance, something else they're working on.
Yeah, good idea.
It hasn't been this quiet for a long time. The day's going to come, though, where someday somebody that doesn't like us is going to be in that holiday lot. Man. Not that it couldn't happen any day for any officer on the street anytime, you know, that's the thing about this job. You can't control people's feelings. You can only do the best you can to try to not aggravate those feelings.
And don't take it personally.
Yeah. But the job is, I mean, in its simple core, if someone wants to hurt one of us, they're going to have an opportunity, right? It's not like we're hiding out inside a office. People are out on the street running into calls, but all day long.
Right.
That's the nature of the job. There's an element of danger to it, but
oh, just in case we see it, at 345 Kellogg, there was a hit and run. We're looking for a blue and white pickup truck with a ladder on it. I'll tell you the plate if we see a blue and white pickup truck with a ladder on it.
you could have got one of those cans of Cheese Whiz.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does anybody still eat those?
Probably wouldn't have been a bad idea.
Ritz crackers and Cheese Whiz? I'm just kidding you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Takes the edge off the hunger.
Oh, westbound on 7th.
Well, 767 south of Robert, there's a 911 hang-up. They called back, hung up again.
Well, as long as it's this quiet, I really want to get up to Summit.
Mm-hmm.
About 250.
50.
Unit says 249 and then 911 open line at 767 Robert Street.
Zero.
1327.
249, I can advise on that.
Copy 250, clear.
Okay.
1327.
515.
515.
Put me in 506.
For some reason, I seem to be the only one getting the updates from Chloe for the last couple times.
Yeah. I don't know why that is. I'm not getting them. All right, we're in front of Assumption, heading toward the Xcel Energy Center. Once again, thank you to Catholic Charities, CEO Tim Marks, Chris Michaels, everyone that works so hard to to help this huge opportunity center that was built. Such a great resource for the community. Is that road blocked there now?
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, I was going to drive through the plaza there, but not going to be able to do that. Let's run up and take a look at the cathedral here. I'm not coming out yet, buddy. You know, lots of times we hesitate to repeat ourselves as we go by other landmarks that we've talked about before, but because, well, we just don't like to be redundant. But if you go back and listen to some of our earlier ones,
151.
probably pick up some information about the city in
Showing
general.
Highland, Wisconsin, Alpha Echo Kilo 7949.
Minnesota History Center there on our right. Beautiful building. And the cathedral on our left.
My knowledge of the history of this city is dwarfed by yours.
No, I don't think that's true. Just we have different parts of the history. There's the cathedral. Probably got to get on the other side to appreciate its beauty because of the lighting.
It is a beautiful cathedral.
Of course, it's right at the intersection of Summit Avenue and Selby Avenue, and overlooking the city. Just see if I can get another angle on it here. It's a side view of the cathedral.
DOA with 527.
Copy at 1331.
No. Remember when the dome used to be green because it had oxidized the copper up there?
Mm-hmm.
And of course they redid that, and now it's brown. I don't know how many years it'll take to re-oxidize it again till it becomes green again.
Hmm.
Probably our grandchildren's time.
Yeah, really.
Well, I think our technology is working okay. Let us know on Facebook if our video on YouTube looks okay. Hopefully we got the bugs worked out. Appreciate your help in that endeavor.
157.
157.
Assist 130 to Goodrich and Milton on a male going door to door. Black male 20 to 30, 5'9" average build, wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt and dark jeans. Last seen westbound on Goodrich.
Well, that's us.
Dude.
157 number.
I'm going to put this one on 1.
Okay.
130 with 1040.
Switch that one to whatever. Look at those trees, huh?
157, you can clear.
Beautiful.
Look at that, Summit Avenue.
157, I'll be clear.
What a beautiful day to jog Summit Avenue.
For those of you not from St. Paul, a lot of the houses here have what are referred to as carriage houses. behind them, which is where the carriages, as the name would suggest, were kept in the past century and a half. And they have mostly been turned into residences of their own. The carriages houses are. And some beautiful, beautiful homes and carriage homes in this neighborhood.
Most well-known probably was the James J. Hill House.
For sure.
It still does historical landmark, does tours.
The railroad magnet.
Yep.
Magnet.
But I mean, there's some gorgeous houses here. The problem, of course, is if you own one, heating it.
Oh.
Heating it and cooling it. It's
Would probably equal my house payment.
yeah. Some of them have become multi-family now.
151, I copy around 790. Comment on an area check for a vehicle casing comes out at 1334.
790 Summit, an area check for a vehicle casing houses. So we got to get a vehicle description of that.
230 at the Cathedral.
Yeah. Chloe's gonna hook us up with that vehicle description, I'm sure.
230 copy the burglary report at 264 LaFond Avenue at 1334.
Yeah, 790 Summit was the address on that.
It's going to be 717. Whole lower unit. Probably she's at her.
And then we got the suspicious party walking at Milton and Lincoln that we're going to slide in on. Or was it Goodrich? Milton and Goodrich.
Which is just a block away from a carjacking 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, good point.
It might be a whiskey plate. Chevy Lumina or Malibu.
Okay.
Driven by a 50-year-old white male wearing a trucker-type ball cap.
About 250.
We'll just settle. Remember the streets, these long streets.
345 Kellogg Boulevard, the Minnesota History Center, and an accident hit and run.
Copy.
1336.
It could be an out-of-state plate rather than a whiskey plate, it says here.
Well, let's just hang here for a minute in case he drives by. I'll let these guys go first.
And it should be maroon in color.
So Avon is 800 west, so 790 is just a couple doors down. Maybe on Summit it might even be one door down.
Yeah, really.
But we're also
Looks like the second one in.
the second one in. Just gonna sit here for a minute. See if maroon Lumina comes along. The other thing, we're only like 4 blocks away from the other suspicious call.
Right.
Which not unusual for people to work in pairs and have one car. But the descriptions are significantly different. But sit here for a minute. St. Paul car is on the way to this call. Just make one quick trip through the alley, huh? Then we'll head
Sure.
over to the other one.
Sure.
Those look right.
Good. Clear.
Too far from the governor's mansion either, just a little further down on Summit.
About 521.
And we won't be going there because we're a long ways away, but just to keep you advised, there's a group of males fighting in the parking lot of Cub Foods over off of Hudson and between McKnight and White Bear in the Sunray Shopping Center.
That's not good.
No.
Things do start to pick up around 2 o'clock. That's usually kind of the pickup time.
4520.
After everybody gets their stomachs fed like us.
Copy, thank you, 3039.
Let's run over to that Goodrich and Milton area and
Right.
see if there's a suspicious man. Keep looking for that maroon car here. We just passed where there was that murder in front of Billy's here a week or two ago.
I don't remember the description on the Milton and Goodrich.
The black male.
There we go. Oh, no, that's a different one I'm looking at. Okay, I'm sorry, go
No,
ahead.
I just think that was a black male walking west. Knocking on the doors.
7521 phone.
Copy, 3039.
This is the thing about police work. There is nothing illegal about walking door to door and knocking on the doors. Let's just say that that's a completely legal thing, unless you're peddling without a license or trying to sell things, soliciting, etc., etc. But that's a part of the issue is the mere presence on your steps, unless it's posted no trespassing on your property. That's what's interesting about the no trespassing statute requires that a party be given clear notice not to come on the property before they can be arrested. So most people don't have big no trespassing signs outside on their sidewalk.
Right.
So if a person comes up on your porch and I mentioned this before about the different types of burglars there are. Burglars like to be able to be hidden when they pry your door. Oh, this is a beautiful street, huh?
Yeah,
Check
it
that
is.
out. That's gorgeous. This is Goodrich now. Burglars like to be hidden, so a lot of these houses will have enclosed porches. Not all of them, but a lot of them. There's like two on the left having. So if a person comes to your house and your porch door is not locked,
251.
if they come in, that technically they haven't violated the law yet.
Correct.
That's why you need to lock your porch door. I hate to say it, a lot of people don't like to have to do that. Because if they forcibly get in,
One in a
that's...
squad with this to 911 Rice Street, the unique adult daycare center on a silent panic alarm.
So if they force their way, they've committed a crime. If they open the door on a porch and they go inside, technically they haven't committed a crime yet. And so this is where it gets difficult proving some type of offense.
Right.
I think we'll just...
250 up right for now.
I don't want to scare them.
Right.
We don't know that we have anything.
250 copy, 624 copy on channel 2.
So although in and of itself, what this guy is doing is not illegal,
4525.
it's most certainly something worth investigating. Because yes, it could be someone completely innocent looking for directions, soliciting, or it could be someone looking for a house to burglarize.
And not unusual MO for a person to try to look legal to get inside your thing so they can pry your door open. And, it comes from years of experience of seeing that happen. People will use other ruses too. I'm looking for a dog. Oh, I thought this was somebody else's house. Just a wide variety of... But, I mean...
Copy 250, you can clear.
We still have the technical right to ask someone
Disregard, 64, you can
questions.
clear.
This is where it's an interesting area of law. You can ask anyone a question anytime you want. The next step is the authority to detain them. You need to have enough reasonable suspicion to detain someone and say, hey, sir, just stay here, don't go anywhere. Detaining is really requiring them to stay in your proximity. Then there is the next, obviously,
251, copy 250.
enough probable cause to actually arrest someone is another threshold. But there's some things in between. I was thinking about this in that DWI arrest that we were at. If an officer has enough reasonable suspicion to believe that your driving suggests that you've been using alcohol, he can sequentially take you to the next step, which is a field sobriety test.
Correct.
So he's got your driving behavior and your field sobriety. At that point, he can request a blood or breath test, a breath test in the field usually. So if you pass that breath test, he's likely not going to arrest you.
Correct.
But if you fail or refuse, then he is going to arrest you. So there's a sequence of events that occur as officers develop additional information. And the courts have said, at certain steps you can do A, B, and C. But the thing that people quite often forget is nothing prevents us from pulling alongside of people and talking to them. At that point, they're not detained. We haven't restricted to them. We're just asking questions. And Pat and I have made a living out of that type of work, correct?
Exactly. I mean, it's no different than what anyone watching could do. You can walk up to someone, drive up to someone, and start talking to them. Right. And if they don't want to talk to you, that is certainly their right. But it is certainly within anyone's right, including a police officer, to attempt to talk to anyone they would like to.
And we gather and glean a lot of information in the course of those conversations. You can tell a little bit about a person in just a friendly, upbeat conversation.
Sure. And you also, I think, as many people have seen, the way in which we approach people, not only can you potentially glean information, but you create relationships with people in the neighborhood.
It's a win-win, right?
Absolutely.
It's a win-win. Well, we haven't seen this suspicious gentleman on Goodrich or Lincoln. We'll go down here to Fairmount. We haven't had, usually we get a second call if the person's really suspicious.
215-2964.
One 529.
But I'll tell you this, that the level of suspicion changes as things occur.
Right.
It changes for the citizenry too. If there's a high crime rate, people will call us more often. If there's less crime, they'll call us less often. And
I got a response for 246.
if the media is reporting certain types of criminal activity, they're more likely. Which, by the way, if you've seen, there's been a huge increase. Pat and I have been talking about this for months, about these carjackings, but the news media has been covering them and what's going on in Minneapolis. I haven't been reposting the news stories, but I'm sure you've all watched the number of carjackings that have happened in Minneapolis. Which one of these Mountain Dews is mine? Do you remember?
Just a second, and I will. That one.
This one?
Yes.
Okay. I'm drinking more than you so far, right?
Yes, you have.
Well, if you joined us late, please check out the YouTube page. And I'm not sure why some people like it better. Maybe you can keep streaming that, close the window. I don't know, Facebook sometimes shuts you off, but if you can subscribe to it, you'll get notified when we are live. We're going to attempt to stream to both.
Well, one thing I've discovered from friends is that on the newer so-called smart TVs, you can get YouTube right on your TV.
Yeah.
So you'd actually be able to watch these live feeds on whatever size screen TV you have.
Yeah, and actually I do that on our TV. which we don't have a real smart. Well, we have a real smart one downstairs where our 15-year-old son gets the real smart TV.
Okay.
We
that's
have we
appropriate.
have a B- TV, and that's he's not a smart TV. But you can Comcast now allows you to search YouTube. So it's not really our TV that's smart, it's our Xfinity that's smart, and our TV. Some people have TVs that are smart, but yeah, I do. So like during all the protests, if you just type in live protests Minneapolis, you can get these multiple feeds that would show up on YouTube. So you can kind of click through them and pick the live feed.
Sure.
Mercado Media, Andrew Mercado Media is one of the best ones. Another shout out to him for his streams. He's been going around to all the cities as well. But I started out here in Minneapolis, and so we enjoy watching him. So yeah. That is a little nicer to be able to just pop it on without having to stream the app through your phone.
Sure.
Or some people hardwire their computer to their TV, but that's a little more extra work.
Right.
Northbound on Lexington here. Northbound on Lexington, coming up on Selby. We got another suspicious call we're going to slide over to. We won't mention it until we get there. I think there's a lot of people listening to us sometimes, and the call hasn't been dispatched yet. On the northwest corner here is Mickey Frost Truth Center. 8 to 18, working with kids to keep them out of gangs, does a great job. Our sheriff's deputies have been working hand in hand with him, but he's to be thanked and complimented. You've probably heard about him before, but longtime friend, used to coach him in basketball at Central High School during the original Night Moves basketball.
Oh yeah, Night Moves.
You know, the more the thing is, I do travel around here. I realize I don't get out of town enough.
Oh, I usually by this time in the year would have taken at least 2 trips to see my sister in Arizona.
Occupied times 2.
Is that
3050.
That's good.
white man?
No.
What we're going to do is 4 people, right?
I think 2, but different type of vehicle.
Oh, maybe she said sedan. I heard man. That's probably it.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's for sure the same call. Just type in there. Ask her if it's dispatched. Well, it's really hard for me to watch that speedway still be boarded up over here, isn't it for you?
Oh yeah.
The Super America, so many interesting historical activity. One of our deputies was working off duty there one night when there was shots fired in the back of the building while he was in the front. Terry Sukala was working there.
Oh really?
Yeah. So it's not too much fun when you're standing in front of the building and you hear several shots fired in the back.
No, that's.
Hey, by the way, Chief Todd Axtell, who once again does an awesome job for the city of St. Paul, appeared before the city council this week to answer questions about his proposal and the mayor's proposal. And I did download his. I downloaded his PowerPoint, and there are some very interesting charts and graphs on that PowerPoint that I'm going to post this afternoon about crime trends, staffing trends. Because we need to have a frank conversation about the number of bodies that the police department has and the increase in crime. Well, we've talked about it several times, but now we have some concrete charts that your chief has posted. So later this afternoon, before our evening session, I'm going to post those on my page and, take a look at them and we'll have a conversation.
27.
You can change this to a DLP. Advise 151.
Copy 1353.
What kind of car are we looking for, Paul?
White sedan.
What's suspicious? They're just been there a long time or what?
That's it. Just been there a long
This is
time.
the problem, you know.
But one is in the front seat and one is in the back seat, which is...
Well, that happened to me yesterday. This last week, you know, when we had that big rainstorm,
Right?
I left my passenger side window open.
Oh, boy.
I don't know why I did that. And of course, the passenger seat was sopping wet. So any of my family members driving with me had to be in the back seat. So here they are right
There
here.
it is right there.
Just pull up, do a little friendly stop since...
White Pontiac we've got with no front plate.
Hi!
Oh my god. Will you give me a jump?
Do you need a jump? I don't know. You know, it's funny you mentioned the guy gave us a jump pack, but I took it out because it didn't have the power in it. We don't have any cables right now.
Okay.
Sorry, but is that the problem?
Heavy 13.
Is there a second person in the car with you?
Yeah, he's laying down.
Can you roll the window down?
Baby. It doesn't roll down, I forgot.
What, do you guys live around here or what?
I dashed.
Huh?
Door dashed?
Your door, where was your last delivery?
Like 4 blocks away.
4 blocks away? Well, here's the deal. We're going to turn around and just come out. The neighbors have called and they're concerned about you guys, right?
Okay.
All right, so grab your IDs if you don't mind.
Okay.
Plus 525.
I didn't bring that charger with today.
You can add a Bravo
We
Tango Tango.
gotta recharge those up every once in a while.
Right.
Copy 1355.
So supposedly their battery died, but they last delivery, she says she's DoorDash, which might be completely legit.
3 Bravo Whiskey 736.
I think that St. Paul car is probably on the way here.
3 Bravo Whiskey 736. Yeah, there were 2 coming from the Northwest team.
Oh, they were?
Yeah.
Well, let's just get their ID.
Yeah.
624 Monroe TOT.
Copy 1355.
Squad 136.
136.
Investigate 878 Pascal.
Copy 1356.
Squad 248.
248.
10-8 with a supplemental.
Copy 1356. Squad 151, I copy your en route to 425 Rice Street, the Sears, on assisting medics on a mail down at 1357.
Squad 248.
248.
You cleared 234. He's still out on it at the jail. Rating.
Copy 1357.
624.
624.
I'm actually at Sears. Where is this person that's down?
Looks like it's the south end near the sidewalk on Rice off of St. Anthony. So black male, possibly white shoes, and a gray sweatshirt.
Wait, you can just say it to me and I'll stay on for a second here.
Copy 1358.
So you might have heard that they say their car broke down, claim their DoorDash,
32 code 4, I'll give 5.
which seems plausible.
Copy
But it's
for
a little unusual their car would break down while they're driving away. That's the only... He's from River Falls. He's sleeping in the back. They claim they have somebody coming to jump him. Good news is he wasn't prowling the neighborhood. You say there's 2 cars coming?
Yeah.
Yeah, here it comes. We're gonna leave then. It is getting a little nippy, isn't it?
It really is.
Holy moly. Didn't notice it. Temperature is 41 degrees.
We're gonna have to grab some gloves for our night patrol, I think.
I think you might be right. Anybody know how cold it's going to be tonight at midnight?
64.
I'm sorry, I know the white shoes, but was it a gray hoodie and a baseball cap as well?
Does not say anything about the baseball hat. Shows gray sweatshirt and blue jeans.
Yeah, it looks like he's doing fine. He's walking south towards John Ireland. All the medics know her.
How's it look that way?
You're good. Clear.
They do drive fast though, don't they?
They sure do.
Close that gap pretty fast. I'll take a drive through Como just for the beauty of it, huh?
Sure.
As long as we don't have any calls anyhow. Northbound on Lexington and Minnehaha. We've seen the Cathedral today, Summit Avenue. Andrew Mercado, if you got any tips for us as to how we do better, we're always interested in improving. So
464, can you confirm your location? You said you have one facedown.
thanks for what you're doing.
Walking southbound. He's doing fine.
You're our role model.
You are definitely a videographer extraordinaire. Supposed to be 34 degrees at midnight.
Hey Andrew, by the way, if one of the things I still haven't figured out is what program do people use to restream your stuff while they're restreaming like 5 other ones? During the protest, I would see somebody would restream Facebook, YouTube, everything on one screen, and then they could pick and choose which one was larger. No, we're using Restream to go directly to Facebook and YouTube, but I know there's a way that people can restream other people's streams like yours, and maybe not even legally, maybe you don't want that to happen, but I just wonder what program that these people use to restream multiple things on the same screen. And if you know what program that is, I'd love it if you'd let us know. Not that we're there yet, but there might be a point in the future that we have multiple squads with live streams.
You never know.
And, it'd be nice for people to go to one place to figure out, what they wanted to watch. And we might even start that as a safety project for the squads without streaming it to the public. When they're at calls, it's nice, like the fire department does, where they get a video of the fire before they attack it.
Right.
Doesn't even have to be necessarily for the public, but obviously a lot of things could be streamed directly to the public as well.
Kill that.
Yeah, kill that air conditioning there, Pat. What the heck?
What in the world?
Andrew, one of my memories of Andrew, he covered everything, but I've complimented the St. Paul Police Mobile Field Force team, which we assist, but Troy Green, which during the riots, Troy's team, not on the first day necessarily, but as we figured out what was happening, Troy's team blocked the bridge entrances to St. Paul. And so as the large group was trying to march across the Lake Street Bridge, Lake Marshall Bridge, St. Paul prevented them from coming in. And a couple other bridges as well, north there by University and Franklin. But I think Andrew was with that group. And I remember one of his quotes there. He said, it was a direct compliment to St. Paul as well. He said, "St. Paul don't play." So at that point we weren't going to let that level of destruction come back across the river into St. Paul and Ramsey County. And St. Paul Police Department Commander Troy Green did an awesome job.
Perhaps as a sign of flattery, that phrase has kind of been adopted by law enforcement on this side of the river.
Well, you hate to have a saying, because people begin to prove you're wrong, and they always can, But it is important to know that we're not going to allow that level of property destruction to take place again. And the governor's office is committed to making sure that doesn't happen as well.
132.
So.
And as an interesting side note to that, it had been hundreds of cars and people that were trying to cross the bridge during that. And some of them that were able to bypass the bridges being blocked were subsequently stopped and found to have, there were guns, there were cans of gasoline. So it was definitely a move that saved a lot of property damage from coming to St. Paul.
And actually, that's one of the best civil disturbance techniques, is to limit and restrict movement. And then that restriction of movement allows you to have a sense of who's going where and establish probable cause to do some additional searches.
Correct.
So we're going to drive through Como Park. What is this? Was this the Mad Mouse? Or the Mad Mouse? Not the... There was one here at Como and one at the fair. One was the Wild... I wish I could remember.
I'm not sure.
People will remember. I love Como Park. Love to be able to watch the giraffes. The giraffes, the cat den, the wolves over here. Unfortunately, it hasn't been a lot of opportunity to do that. It's the wolf area here. We are on a special diet. It does not include you.
And contrary to the St. Paul urban legend this summer and some creative photoshopping, no, there was not a lion roaming the streets of St. Paul that had escaped from Como Park this summer.
No, that's true. But having said that, if you haven't seen the video of the cougar that was stalking the hiker,
oh my goodness,
you have to watch that, because there's certain things in life you'll never see again, and that is how a cougar lurches forward to attack,
right,
with both arms out. I mean, you can see a short 2-minute version, but the 6-minute version is probably worth it. How a cougar attacks. This is a hiker that was being stalked.
If he had turned his back to that cougar, it would have got him.
Yeah, we would have probably found the phone. No, that man was very lucky. Very, very lucky. We're northbound on Hamlin from Como.
And yes, for those wondering, yes, we are going live again at 9/11 tonight.
Probably got to get a 20-minute nap in before then.
Maybe a little bite of something other than a hot dog. Being told it was indeed the Mad Mouse.
Mad Mouse, huh?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Nancy.
And of course, there were many other memories there. Of course, Casey the gorilla. And you guys put your Como Park memories in there, because Sparky the seal. Don't forget Sparky the seal. I remember we used to go into the old little house there and make the plastic molds of Sparky the seal and Casey the gorilla. And it was the old cat cage there. I forget what the name of the building was. It's still there. And
32 right.
Happy 1409.
I'll save my Sparky the Seal imitation for another day.
and oh, but how many great memories can you have feeding those seals with the little fish? You buy a little fish, throw them in there. That's a memory
pretty cool.
too. Yeah, all my kids have had that great experience of feeding the seals. A little circular seal island there. It's amazing. I mean, the cat house and the things that have been developed there.
For the size of that zoo, it is an amazing zoo.
Oh, it's perfect. The perfect arena. That way it's close. You don't have to spend a lot of time driving. They got rides there too, of course, the Como rides. And, in addition to the Mad Mouse.
There was a time when you could actually ride the tortoise. Someone
Yes.
reminded me.
Well, it didn't go very fast. It just sat there. Just sat there. It must be. But yeah.
But you'd eventually beat the person riding the hare.
And the conservatory there is a phenomenal facility in terms of how the beauty of it. A lot of people do their wedding pictures there, and even the entrance there. My wife and I did a lot of our pictures outside of the conservatory. Might have done some inside, but most of it was outside. Some at the gates ajar, and then outside the front of the conservatory. Beautiful facility. But I remember when I was in elementary school, we used to come here to see some plant that would only blossom once every 7 years or something. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
Maybe somebody will remember it. A plant that would only open its flowers once every many, many years. So that was our field trip to the conservatory. I didn't know that. Someone just sent me a text saying Andrew Mercado was a North St. Paul Polar as well. Well, that's where I graduated from, Andrew. A lot of good years there, a lot of great teachers at North St. Paul. Of course, the building that you graduated from is a new building. Our old high school now is part of the administrative building. The other part's torn down. Hey, this bridge right here we're coming to there's a placard at the east end of it. It was dedicated to council member Jim Ryder, who passed away in office. He's my father-in-law. If you're ever up on this bridge, go to the east end of that bridge in Como. You'll see a placard and a sitting area with his name dedicated to one of the finest men I've ever known. And just a great role model there. Councilmember Jim Ryder. His wife Darlene, still alive and think the world of her and the rest of their family.
Well, I've got to make a little personal note here. In a minute here, you're going to see the gates.
Gates ajar.
The gates ajar up there. That is where my wife Trish and I got married.
Awesome. Can you see it up there? In the big, yep, there we are. Gates ajar.
Right there. September 19th of 2016.
Good memory.
Wonderful memory. She had a
Wonderful person.
uniformed police escort along with her father up the hill to where I was waiting.
A lot of memories up here.
Indeed.
You know, she's a wonderful person. She's wonderful, wonderful.
Miss her dearly.
It's the pavilion in front of us there. Reminds me of my friend David Glass that used to run the concessions here and frankly was mistreated by the city of St. Paul. I wanted to get rid of him for unbeknownst reasons, but probably some political reason. David, if you listen in the future, we appreciate you and your service to this community. Oh, we're really not getting many calls, are we there, Patrick?
No. Oh, I had this one off. Sorry.
That's all right.
I've got this one on 2. What do you have yours on?
This one's on 1, and this other one is on. That one's on 1. I'm going to go to 3.
Sure.
All right.
Since we're in St. Paul, we are trying at this moment to try and keep track of the 3 patrol radio channels.
We do try to scan best that we can. It's not all perfect. I got a 4th one here that I put on Central. Used to be a streetcar that ran out here, and this building we just passed used to be a streetcar station. Kind of how funny things go in loops. There used to be a streetcar on 7th Street too, and now they're going to try to put a light rail on 7th, from downtown out to the airport. Como Park Lake right in front of us. It's funny how you think back. This street we're on right here, south side of Como.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the city council. It's a long time ago now.
In relation, 69 West Exchange.
Back in '83, when the city was redesigning this park for streets. All the streets used to be 2-way all the way around.
Right.
And then, of course, that logistically didn't always
Park
work.
249, I copy your note to 558 Concord on a stuff from auto report.
So the staff wanted to make everything one way. And this particular stretch here, they wanted this to be one way too. And I opposed that and was able to convince the council not to make it one way, because there's really no way we would have forced all the traffic into the neighborhoods to go around the lake the opposite way.
Right.
So,
Well, I'm glad you were persuasive.
no, you think back about little decisions. So, So I'm really thankful this is still two-way, the south side of Como, because trying to get from Snelling to Dale, anywhere around here, to navigate this either way would have been. And we would have forced a lot more traffic to go around the lake and extra without really going through here. So what happened was they said there wasn't enough room for two lanes here. But then they figured, see this retaining wall?
Yep.
They figured, okay, we're going to cut. This used to come closer. We're going to cut back into this hill here and put a retaining wall. So not a very difficult fix, but the reason for that retaining wall there is so we can have enough room for two-way traffic on the south side of Como.
Okay.
So there's probably people out there that still don't agree with that. but I just think it's so much easier for traffic flow, and then you don't force all those cars to go around the lake unnecessarily on the north side.
Right.
By following the one way. It's just a little bit of trivia there. So when we come back on tonight at 9/11, if you'd be sure to let your friends know where the YouTube page is, or share our links. I mean, in order for this to be the most value to the community, we need to reach as many people as we can. We do appreciate the people that are the regulars. Well, we got something going there?
Yeah, they're worried about an intoxicated man who might fall into traffic at Larpenteur,
We go
Snelling.
up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we do appreciate. In fact, there was a lady that posted earlier today that said she loves the comments because she feels like she's part of a family. Did you see that? I just thought that was a unique. So we're the Live on Patrol family. Right?
Absolutely.
Our family's in the back seat on our ride.
249.
The Live on Patrol family.
249.
Thanks for being a part of it.
You'll call back and have
But we also want to make
about-
sure that other people can get a feel for what our police work is like. So
Copy 1440.
on the nighttime ones, be sure you share and encourage your friend network to try and get a feel for it. I really think to a certain extent, Pat and I feel like, based on the comments, that people are learning more about our profession.
Oh, absolutely.
This is the West Picnic Grounds at Como. Looks like some street construction there on Como between Hamlin.
49.
Aircraft is stepping out now.
Copy.
1441.
Street 58 case number.
358, your case number is 222-392, and the time is 1340.
As a test.
Copy.
1422.
Just now dispatched. Well, apparently you're not going through again.
No. I'm just. I'm definitely slower than you, but that's because it's a function of the user, right? I'm just slower than you.
Hardly.
It's funny how those phones can read your personality. Well, we're probably not going to be live too much longer this afternoon. I got some work to do at the office, and obviously I gotta go home and get some things ready for tonight at home as well. But we will definitely see you on patrol tonight. Thanks for helping us check out the YouTube. If you haven't gone over there and take a look to see how it's working, please do. Yesterday I had some concerns about the quality of the video, but I've been told today it's fine. But I don't know if there's a different resolution that we can improve or not. We're gonna talk to our technical people after we go offline today to see if there's a way to. Jack, we want to make sure that if you do put it on your television, that it's actually good quality enough video to see it.
Right. And for those of you who weren't with us early on, the Live on Patrol Facebook organizational page and the YouTube page are both a little difficult to find. But if you go to Bob's post from late last night, early this morning, talking about going live today at noon, there are links to both. And you can subscribe to the YouTube and then like and follow the Live on Patrol Facebook page. Somebody mentioned my dad just now. My dad was Ray Scott, who was a announcer for. There's our guy. For both the Twins and the Packers and CBS, and he was announcing for a number of places. But we're going to be out with this gentleman right now.
Go talk to them. Go talk to them.
We'll be back with you in a minute.
All I need is her to catch something from him.
Squad 161, I copy en route to Thomas and Fairview. Marked a dangerous condition on a female that ran in front of vehicles with a sign saying help me at 1427.
Well, got him out of the middle of the traffic lanes anyways.
It looked like he was actually listening. He was just more or less dancing. He had those 2 cans of alcohol. We had him talk to the deputy. Let her handle the call. But I don't like when he's in that close proximity to one of our people without a mask. You know?
Right.
So we got a truckload of new masks we can make sure we can give people. And
State Fairgrounds up ahead here on the right. The fair this year was a drive-through event. The tickets for which I understand went within a few hours.
Yeah, my wife got tickets for 2 days. She had to stay online there for ahead of time. The problem with that is that by the time you got to the end of it, you were full from the things they had at the first 2 stations. You're there for the whole day at the fair. You can kind of eat and pick, you know. But being in a line, you force you to eat everything at once. And as you know, I have a very small appetite.
Yeah, you do.
And they, as I mentioned, the corn wasn't there, and I didn't get up to that Maple Grove corn fest. So
358.
358.
Put me out at 1505 3rd and relief.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
we're gonna go there. We won't mention it, but we'll
1429.
definitely head there.
Right.
Has it been dispatched there, Chloe? Yeah, a call we're gonna head to could be a little perceived as an emergency call. We'll tell you what it is when we get there, but I just get a little nervous that we're letting. Sometimes we let the criminals know we're coming too soon.
Even though there's a little bit of a delay between when it actually happens and when you see it, there's some things we just want to hold off on.
Yeah, and the other problem is it probably is easier to monitor us than it is. Well, the app scanner is available. I guess that's pretty easy to monitor as well.
I guess that was down all last night.
I heard that. Well, the power went out up in our neighborhood. We had the power out for an hour and a half, 2 hours, so I don't know where that generates from, but Hamlin University. Spent a lot of time in those buildings. Maybe when we're done with this call, I'll come back here. Show you where I was when I decided I wasn't going to be a doctor.
Please do.
Yeah. I remember the day. Truthfully, I was on the 3rd floor of the chemistry lab. I was waiting for chemicals to react in analytical chemistry class. I was looking out the south windows over the open area by Manor and Soren Dorm, and everybody was out throwing a frisbee around and playing wiffle ball. And I was there alone in there for 4 hours in that chem lab. And I said, you know, I need a job that I can work with people rather than chemicals.
I think you made a good choice.
It's funny how you remember those moments in life where you made a course change. So I was a sophomore. Second semester, I had 2 years of science and math under my belt. Course change. And I think that's a lesson for other people. Don't decide too quick what you have to be. Let life lead you. Sometimes it's life, sometimes it's God, sometimes it's the people around you, but be open to different options.
8297.
The most important thing is find a job that you love, because then you never feel like you're working.
Absolutely.
All right, bring us up to speed on this call here.
All right, Fairview and Thomas. A woman ran out in front of vehicles and had a sign that said, "Help me." And we're looking for a woman in a long black coat and blue jeans.
Is that a squad ahead of us? Yeah, it is, isn't it? So they got here too. You'd think you'd be able to get out on the Fairview there, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's go this way here. See if we can get out onto Fairview. I don't think there's many cars on Thomas. Squad in the alley there too.
1433.
Well, definitely some construction out there in Fairview, huh? Or on, yeah, Fairview.
Definitely.
Doesn't look like there's any traffic there. I'm always a little bit suspicious of people getting the wrong streets. Because there's really no traffic at Fairview and Thomas, right?
Right.
It's just non-existent. Because it's all blocked off.
And St. Paul car is doing the same thing we're doing, just checking the immediate area in case they did get the streets wrong.
A lot of times you got to think in the terms of a person's brain. Sometimes they superimpose a street name because it's a proximity. Like Fairview's a half mile west of Snelling, but Hamlin's a half mile east. Thomas is, of course, the next street next to Minnehaha. In fact, a lot of people get Minnehaha and Thomas confused when they're out here because they're basically the same type of streets. I don't know if that goes through here. We're going to see if Minnehaha does go through.
Clear right. Well, apparently a few of the people watching say this is not an uncommon occurrence for a young lady who lives at the near the intersection of Fairview and Thomas.
It must be a daytime occurrence. Well, actually now we're out on Fairview, which is a plus. Got some new curbs going in here. Smell some paint too.
Squad 157 and 159.
This could be our call again.
157. And 159.
1121 Randolph, assist fire with traffic on a house fire.
House fire down off of Randolph and Lexington.
159.
1436.
So now we're back to Fairview. Damn. Well, this isn't any worse than that big hill we went over in the Chase, right?
Oh, no, you can handle this with
153.
ease.
If 159 wants to cancel, I'll go.
So this is where allegedly she was. One of the workers would have seen
Okay,
her.
now, thank you.
Ask this guy if he's seen a woman.
Copy, I'll stay tonight.
You guys see a woman out
Copy,
here
1437.
with a sign begging for help?
I did not.
Just a quick question. We caught a call on a woman that needed help in a long black coat. Do you see anybody out here? Maybe some crisis, mental health?
Anything like that at all? No.
All right.
Sorry.
You're very
Yeah,
helpful.
you could sneak your way through there, so
Yeah.
maybe. But we just came from that way. I didn't
Yeah.
see any.
Thank you. But she was right here by Thomas, but you saw nothing.
Oh no, we didn't see. I just pulled up about 5 minutes ago, but I didn't see anything.
All right. Thank you.
Yep,
Thank you.
got it.
Thank you.
Let's see that. Looking at Greg on a domestic involving a weapon. Caller's child's father is near the intersection threatening cop. Caller says he has a gun. Name is Jermaine Bolden, 24-year-old black male wearing a black jacket and blue jeans. Caller says she saw the gun in his hand. And he ran into 1051 Arkwright. Always personal.
Copy.
307 to 272.
39 as well.
All right. Well, here's the other. We're gonna log off here soon. The other thing we don't know for sure is whether these videos that are being restreamed are going to actually be saved. I'm pretty sure the YouTube one will. All right.
Okay.
I'm not 100% certain about the Facebook, since when we do log off, I'm gonna try to be on our Facebook page and see what options it gives us. But we don't want to lose anything that we've captured. I mean, not that there was anything Emmy worthy today, but we want to be prepared for tonight. So we're going to drive down University Avenue toward the Capitol, and then we'll wind it up. Sound good?
Sounds
See
good.
if we can figure out how that happens, and if either of our technical people, Andy or Kyle, know for sure how that happens. My plan is just to end the stream and then go to Facebook, and hopefully it'll be saved automatically, or tell it to. But so we're eastbound on University Avenue at Snelling, right by the Spruce Tree Center. By the way, looking forward to the new iPhone coming out. My lovely wife was going to pre-order one for me today, so we can see if the new improved camera is even better.
Seems to get better with every generation.
Yeah.
And for officer safety, it sounds like the mail is going to be...
This app that we have actually, that it's running on, it's a full screen video.
Oh, nice.
At least on our end, compared to
right
what we were using before. But not that it changes it on the user end. So, a lot of businesses still suffering here as a result of the riots and the pandemic and the economic crash. It's going to be a while till all of this comes back. Just drove by the old Montgomery Ward site on our right at Union Hamlin. Of course, for those of you that moved out of St. Paul, probably haven't seen the light rail.
Quite an engineering feat.
This is our old office, the old BCA office for a while, and we were back on Syndicate a little further back there,
right
behind there, but the old Bureau of Criminal Apprehension office.
I forget about that time period there.
Yeah, it was very short.
Right. Yeah.
We moved around. We were in the Cub store, the back of the Cub store. We were in
the old
the
Belmont.
We got a little heat on now instead of the air conditioner.
625, what a gunpoint.
Well, that's not good.
Copy, calling at 10-1, 10-2, 625, what's your location?
Right.
65, I copied you on 2 and 1.
Okay.
Where's she at?
She's at Cook and Hartright.
Oh, yeah.
That man with a gun call.
Yeah.
305, what channel was she on?
She called out on 2.
Yeah, she's supposed to be on 3. Oh, yeah. I forget. I guess, I got the red lights on there, Pat. That's the co-pilot's job.
I
wonder that guy pulled over. Well, actually, it was good timing. Should probably be heading over to Arkwright.
Are they still on?
You got yours on 3?
I believe so. Are the lights still on?
No, I turned them off.
Okay.
I turned them off. I realized it.
I'm on 3 now.
That's embarrassing.
It was nice of them to get out of the way.
Yeah, the thing is, they're the first ones after about 5 minutes.
Squad 389, we have one in custody. You can cancel the 10-3. Copy, one in custody, canceling 10-3.
Why don't you just tell our viewers what the original call there was on Arkwright?
So there was a domestic call over at Cook and Arkwright where the father of the woman's child had threatened her with a gun.
Assist medics who are already on scene for a domestic issue.
And one of the arriving squads spotted the man and took him into custody at gunpoint. And
Paramedics request was placed.
don't have any more details as of right now, but the scene is under control, which is what Code 4 means. When you hear that on the radio, Code 4, that means that whatever the situation the officers are out on is under control.
Squad 389, where's the contact?
Every night at 1444. And Squad 158, did you copy?
59, when you come over to this, can you guys come on the Edgecombe side?
Some dark gray,
389, we'll find out.
dark gray clouds up there.
Yep.
I think I've seen the comments here. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Now you notice at nighttime when you follow us,
1445.
we might have made an effort to get to that call, right?
Right.
Information of squads responding to Randolph for the fire. Enter through the Edgecombe side.
But that's when there's
We'll need that side blocked off.
little or no traffic.
Randolph, Lex side blocked
The
off.
daytime traffic greatly changes your range of patrol activity.
Absolutely.
Copy at
It's
1445.
just too dangerous to try
Squad
to...
158, did you copy?
There's some rain coming from the north.
We're ways out.
It's actually coming from the northwest.
And 389, the caller is going to step outside and speak with
Copy.
you.
Are there any squads closer to 879 Selby to assist
Appreciate
medics?
it, thank you.
Unknown male has a weapon at the time.
1445.
I suppose we could go there, huh?
356, we don't need any
What
more
was the
cars here.
original nature of that call?
Medic's got a
More
call,
credit
but
it is. Look it up, please.
879 Selby.
is the man, medics are
Copy
calling.
158 and clear.
Maybe they're going to handle it. Let's see.
158, copy, carry, thanks.
Problem is,
1446.
this road's blocked off now, right?
Right.
I think we can go a little bit, though. Is that open a little bit?
Yep.
Down the next street?
Yep.
Yeah, open on to Victoria. Well, the problem is they don't have a squad to go to this 879. There's a car blocked in our way there.
I think we can get...
I'm taking the alley here just to be safe.
Okay. I think that was 871 Selby, but I didn't catch the entire nature of the call.
So, the medics were dispatched there, and when they got there, they said they'd send us a squad. There's a man with some type of weapon.
Okay.
But I think it was a domestic related. I don't know. But
Clear right.
But when the medics want help, we should try to get there, right?
Yep.
They're nice enough to be there on their own. They shouldn't leave them. We shouldn't leave them hanging.
We're 1051, knocking permit 2 and going Main Street.
879 Selby, you were correct.
And for our viewers, remember
Squad 130.
Victoria's 860.
41 with the complaint.
Medics are requesting an ETA.
Yeah.
130, what is your ETA?
Requesting an ETA.
2 minutes.
Started off as a
Copy 1447.
domestic with a male 29 years old having chest pain and vomiting, and now turned into potentially a weapon call. The medics need help on clear. Clear. This is going to be right around the corner on Selby from Victoria, just a few doors.
Golf 1 on Channel 3.
We don't really know what we got here. We're just pulling in to help.
Golf 1, I'm not able to get them to respond. response. Can you let me know if medics
Oh,
are
this makes me
needed?
think maybe they're not even
And
at the
also let
call.
me know when you guys are.
Because they're down.
Oh, right there.
What do you got there, partner?
1428.
We got a victim over here. Victim over here. He's sitting in a black Saturn, supposedly choked. We don't know if there's a weapon involved. He handed off a female a box, looked like to be a gun box. So we went into this house right here, 879. But he's sitting in the black Saturn.
All right. Does he have a weapon now? We don't
I'm
know.
not sure, sir.
We'll stabilize it. St. Paul's on the way.
Okay.
Thank you. Where's the Saturn? Thank you.
7 copy at 1449.
How's it look, Pat?
You're good. Back to the trash cans at least. Delta Zulu Bravo 177.
Hang on. Radio's clear.
20 copy at 1449.
2400. We're going to be out on the Selby call. Can you add Delta Zulu Bravo 177 to the call?
Copy at 1449. Copy at 1450.
What they told us is they came to a call and they're going to do the dope.
Park Security 568, I'm clear.
Copy at 1453.
You too, always a pleasure, man. Good to see you.
How you been?
Wonderful. How about you?
Great.
Yeah, you too. You look great. You look better. You look better. All right, Pat. Good. How are you? Yeah, they thought the guy had chest pain or something.
Oh yeah, I guess we probably shouldn't, but Pat's got it.
We're getting his license back. We gotta get back. Oh yeah, we gotta get back in the game. I'm his FTO. See you guys later.
See you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Good young cops. This guy, I remember yesterday. Seemed like he was brand new when I was in the watch commander's office.
Mm-hmm. We're clear.
Did that lady know you there or what?
No, she's related to him. Said he'd been saying he couldn't breathe and was throwing up, and now he doesn't want any help. And whatever was in the box got into the apartment.
Yeah, that was a strange sequence of events. Oh, sorry.
Negative response to
Take care, guys.
Thanks.
See you later. Thanks. So imagine you're a firefighter and you get a call. You get a call to chest pain. Okay? Oh, yeah, sorry. You get a call to this guy with chest pain.
Thank you.
Part of a domestic situation. And supposedly, in this case, the female had assaulted the male. When you get there and you're a firefighter, you believe that there's a gun case being given by the male to the female to go and hide in the house. So now you got a potential medical issue with a chest pain, you got a potential domestic issue, and you have a potential gun issue.
250 has been assessed.
So that's why the fire department asks for help, because they go to the door and they see this happen. They want to help the guy, but they believe that there's a gun involved. So they don't want to help him until it's code 4 and stabilized so they know it's safe. Of course, when we get there, we're able to engage the young man. St. Paul pulls up a couple minutes later, of course, and quickly a little cursory review indicates that there's no weapon immediately around him, which we kind of suspected anyhow because it had gone into the house.
Right.
But he no longer waits to make a complaint about his chest pain.
Nope.
No, and the funny part is, I think the female was the one that called about the chest pain. So you can see how complicated real life is. You know, and he was offered several times to have the medics treat him, and he declined medic treatment.
The older lady, who I believe is a relative of his, was encouraging him to at least get his blood pressure checked because there's apparently some issue there, but he wanted nothing to do with medical attention.
On a male employee refusing to leave at 1457.
I smell the best steakhouse, Pat. What'd you get us? You got steak for us? Smells good. But you got it when the firefighters are there with a what you call a cluster. You want to get there and help them out. So
157.
157.
If you have another
St. Paul Fire and
okay, sorry.
St. Paul Fire and Police have always had a very close relationship.
No doubt. All right, back toward the barn, so to speak.
Now, if it holds true to most of these patrols,
Every time that's what happened just there.
the mere fact he said we're on the way to the barn, he uses the barn word,
You copy, you can open southbound traffic.
we generally end up going on a hot call.
Let's hope not. Let's hope that was our hot call.
Maybe you broke the cycle.
Yeah. About this job is, at least this is my theory, the job is stimulating enough for your brain, because your brain has to be on alert thinking, that it causes your metabolism to be faster. And even though you're just sitting on your butt, you're actually burning off a lot of Twinkies and cheese dogs.
Absolutely.
Do you think that? I think that's right.
I think we should stick to that.
I think there's a natural metabolism that's generated when you're out here. I'm sure those of you at home feel the same way. That even though late Friday night you might be eating something because of not knowing what's going to happen next, it stimulates your metabolism.
Right.
Let's do a science project on it.
Now, when I get home from this patrol here, I'm going to post in the comments the link for both the YouTube channel and the Facebook page, the Live on Patrol organizational Facebook page, and you'll be able to go straight to those.
Well, that farmer's market there right now in the old Cub lot at University in Dale, looks like they got a lot of good vegetables there. Right there. Everything stays fresher too in this cool weather.
Oh yeah.
I feel like we should stop and get
something green.
Something green. It just looked good. I don't know what days of the week it's open there, but it's open today there at University in Dale. If you're looking for a farmer's market, get some fresh vegetables.
I don't know if there's another day of the week, but I think it's always Fridays during the season.
Okay. Good to know. There's the McDonald's on our right there. Golden Arches. Yeah, we don't see those daytimers much.
The coppers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Dave Glisky for ages. Great cop midnights back in the old days when I was in the watch commander's office.
Yep. He's
Alaska. I haven't seen him for. It's good to get out during the daytime once in a while.
I agree. I think we probably averaged, I don't know. How many times have we been out in the daytime? This, like the fourth, maybe?
Yeah. But later afternoon, it's a little busier, you know.
Oh, yeah.
About like 3 o'clock, then start happening more. It's not like it was slow. I mean, there's not that many squads out. You get that fire down there. That's tying up 4 or 5 squads just helping with the traffic for the fire.
Oh, for sure.
You know, so. We get a lot of suspicious calls during the day because people are up.
Squad 138, I copy en route to 1107 Raymond Avenue on the CSC. Suspect is not on scene at 1503.
CSC stands for Criminal Sexual Conduct. So there's a call out there on Raymond. say? I had a thought that I wanted to pass on. We're going to finish up here in front of the Capitol. Make sure we can figure out how to save this video. A little bit of controversy about the Bethesda Hospital site, which is to our left here, 1 block, and County Board laid over their final decision for 1 more week. The 2 commissioners that represent this area, Trista Medicastile and Rafael Ortega, are soliciting some more input from their constituents, and they also want to make sure the security plan is nailed down so there's adequate security in and around the neighborhood. So it sounds like that'll be discussed again next Tuesday at the county board meeting. Got a trooper out guarding the Capitol. I always like to finish up here right in front of the Capitol. Pat, you want to say a couple words there before we sign off?
Well, glad everybody could join us today who did. And this is a great place to sign off at the capital of the great state of Minnesota.
9/11 tonight, all right?
We'll see you then.
See you 9/11. Thanks so much.